If this is bollocks, you've got a reaction out of me. You can stop now. If they are full of shit, and if that is not legit, what they are doing is wrong.
So we went to this fort with Jordan, Lozzie, Robbie Knox, friend of the show, Fiona, friend of me, and myself. So there was 5 of us.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had to start opening up, didn't we? Right.
Yes.
So we stood in a circle, and Ryan does this call to the demons, to the ghosts, to anyone that was in the afterlife.
Yeah, and actually inviting them to touch us, to push us, to do all sorts of shit with us.
He did mention at this point that they could touch you, and then he also mentioned that the last group, one of the women had been pushed over by a ghost.
Onto an anchor.
She got impaled onto an anchor.
Yeah. So we're like,
What?
Yeah, Robbie was like, I just want to question that, please.
Yeah.
Because you said they could touch us, yet you just said...
Now-
But yeah, we've actually glossed over something, though.
Go on.
The camera incident.
Yeah. So
Now, this was 100% fucking legit, because I'm telling you now, I don't think Jack's willing to smash a £600 camera just for my video.
my camera broke there.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
this is if you're listening to this podcast hoping to get spooked, for me, I'll put it out there now. This is as scary as it got, and then it kind of dwindled out. Right.
Oh, mate, they ain't even watched them. What if they ain't watched it yet?
But I told him at the start to watch the fucking video. So
yeah.
why are you here? Why are you here? Listen, it's like listening to a director's commentary on
Yeah.
Shrek 3 when you haven't heard it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I'd say maybe not. No, actually, yeah, the scariest, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So what happened was
there's some powerful chapters, some funny chapters.
we're all in the circle, but before we go to the circle, I ran up. There's a little electricity box thing.
Nah,
in
it was
the
like
middle.
a metal plinth. It had a handle on it. Basically, it was next to a well. So the idea was, I think it's like the box for the crank to bring the bucket up in the well.
Right, so there's this box in the middle, right, of this forecourt, and we're all stood on the left-hand side of the forecourt near the canteen, just chatting, chilling, getting some shots. And I thought, right, I'm going to go over and put my camera on the middle bit. It's a big flat surface that goes up
With a
slightly
slight
towards,
incline,
to,
yeah.
to one side, right? So when I put the camera, and apologies for those listening, you have to try and imagine it. There's the top of this thing, this surface goes slightly up. I've put my camera on there,
On the lip.
and on the lip, and obviously it's marginal, right? The lens is marginal in terms of, because it's a slight incline, it's filming way too high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to do here, but I thought it might just catch. We're in the distance anyway, so it might see us. So I've put it there. I go back. I start chatting to the guys. About 5 minutes later, poof. So what?
Yeah.
We all go, whoa! You hear Robbie in the video.
I
What
didn't.
the hell?
I didn't even know that you'd put your camera there. So in my peripheral, while I was filming, I just see this black object fly onto the ground. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I realised it was your fucking camera.
So I've run over there. The camera's fallen off the thing, the plinth, and it's on the floor and it's smashed. And I'm like, oh, this is shit. So I fucking broke my camera. Now I'm thinking, right, there is a bit of wind. Robbie says in the video there's not a lot of wind. So I got the camera up. I put it back onto the top of the surface. Realised there's a massive incline and thought, how has it gone over the edge? Because there's an incline. It's like a straight surface, and then suddenly it goes up at the edge, like a little flick of like a clown's shoe or something.
Yeah.
Right? A jester's shoe. So I was like, what? So I've put it there, and I've started going,
yeah, really
blowing the
blowing it
camera.
hard.
And I couldn't blow it off. So straight
Yeah.
away, I'm like, this is shit. Like these guys haven't set this up because you've broken the camera. If you have, you're bastards. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, and now I can't film. Fiona made the good point. She said, Jordan's got the same camera. Take your memory card out and just watch the footage back. Put it in. Now, before I tell you what happened with the memory card, my camera's fallen over at home before when I've been recording. It's been on my tripod. I'm known for having shit tripods, and my tripod fell. It broke my camera, but the footage stopped recording and it saved the footage.
Okay.
Right? There was no footage on my memory card. There was no footage on my memory card. I am not making this up. And this is the start of the night when already I'm getting 1% more scared than I was previously.
The sun's starting to come down.
Yeah, and it's starting to get dark, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you can see my genuine reaction in the video. I put it in your camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's mental. Because I was definitely recording. And I know I was recording because when I pressed it the first time to record, I pressed it and accidentally pressed it straight off and went, oh, I fucked it. So then I pressed it again, waited for the red light to come on, and I walked off. So
Yeah.
it was recording. So The logical explanation, yeah, the wind just blew it off. Blew it quite hard that it went over the little lip. It fell, and for some reason it didn't save to the memory card. That's logical thing.
Yeah.
But when you've just got to a fucking ghost hunt in haunted fort,
Yeah.
that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
already
100%.
I was kind of like, don't like this. And it proves that as much as I can sit here and say I didn't believe, they took us into one of the rooms at the start, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I called a ghost a cunt. Right, she was like, "Oh, there's a ghost in here called Elizabeth, blah blah blah," and I went, "Oh, yeah, I'll be seeing you later, you cunt." And all three of them, the ghost hunters, at the same time went, "Whoa, don't do that." And I went, "I'm only joking," and backed out of the room because I was thinking,
If
like
it's
we just said,
legit.
if it is legit, what is me just going sorry if it's going to save my life?
Yeah,
Like, I may as well just say sorry.
Yeah.
When really I wasn't sorry, ghost. So fuck yeah.
There's one bit which I might be wrong, and Steve, I'd love to know what you think, because this is where I was like, you. So basically, I ask Ryan straight up. I'm like, so you've seen dead people and ghosts your entire life. That must have been horrific as a child to see, like, you know, fucking ghost demons, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, because I didn't know any differently. And I just thought, I don't buy that, because I think as a child, if you see something scary or see a dead person, like he said, no, I've just always seen them. Like I said to my teacher once, I was in first school, and I was like, oh, miss, your dad's here. He's hanging from a tree outside. As a child, if you see a fucking hanging body from a tree,
You know that's not right.
Scary, right?
That is rank.
So I feel like he might be. Listen, if it's legit, then fair enough, or if he believes what he's saying, then fair enough. But I just feel like it would be more believable if he was like, I was tormented as a child by what I've seen. That's like, oh fuck, I feel for you here.
I feel like I should just say, and I mean this is no hold. I'm not trying to bring this person down. This is how he makes his living, and he was a lovely guy. Like they were all
Really
lovely
was.
people.
Listen, but at the end of the day, we never agreed not to be skeptical. We're skeptical people.
I
and
came
this
away
is-
believing less in ghosts than I
Yes.
did before, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
And there's a bit where I was quite fucked off,
which we
we'll
will get to, and I will get to that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'll get to that. Because
Yeah.
on the night, it was not. I did not enjoy that at all. But
Yeah.
this is another thing I want to quickly say. When Ryan is talking to these ghosts, I'm looking at him the whole time, thinking, right, I know you're not. I believe you're not talking to a ghost right now.
Yeah.
I know you're not talking to a fucking ghost. Do you think you are talking to a ghost?
Yeah.
Or do you think that you're making me think that you're talking to a ghost?
Is he just mental?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The automatic reading was naughty, I feel.
So what happened?
So basically, we sit down and Ryan opens up his body as a conduit for ghosts to come in and write what, you know, communicate with us.
He's got a pen, he's like,
yeah. So he's writing on
scribbling.
paper, and this person comes in who is apparently my mother's grandfather. He's called Ron. My mother's grandfather is actually called Alfred. So I apologise, Arthur. And also, he was not born in 1864.
I mean, if Jordan
But,
doesn't even know his name.
I didn't even know. See, that's the thing. I didn't know what his name was
At the time.
So when he's telling me his skis are Ron, I was like, right, okay. And then like
Hold on, when did they say he was born?
1864.
They pick your great grandparent, which
Yeah, so
isn't that far
mathematically,
away.
Yeah.
That's only going to be about 90 years older than you. It should be early
It's mad.
1900s.
But then
mad,
they
isn't it?
started hitting you with facts, didn't they? Like they not facts, but
but loose things that could really be applied to many people. But also, like, just they, it's hard. They basically they started talking about my mum. Now I fucking love my mum to death, and she's done so much for me, right? And that's a very like I'm extremely protective over my mum, and the way that they started delving into her past, which. You were absolutely bang on what you said to me on the night, and when I was watching it back, you were like, "You'd be surprised how much you gave away," and I really did, without even knowing, like because when they were like his two, as in like my mother's fucking whatever, I was like, well, and 2 weeks, and she was left to do it by herself, and I was like, well, you know, my mum's dad did leave her when she was 2 weeks old.
Jordan's
oh my God,
filling
two,
in.
but so I'm filling in the blanks without in
Yeah.
there. But the thing is. I'm genuinely not thinking, right? they're communicating with this guy who's talking to me. All I'm now doing is reliving some horrible things that my mum has told me in her past, which is upsetting. And plus, like the way that just I don't know, just it was a weird setting. It was a weird atmosphere. There was one bit I'll give you that, and you can see it in the video, and it's so genuine. Is when they first no one's responding, right? And I go, "Oh, do you want to talk to me?" Oh, all of a sudden, yes. I was like, "What? Why do you want to talk to me, Ron?" Or something like that. And then it's something like, "He is with you," isn't it? And in my mind, all I thought was, again, if this is real, I thought, if this is real, I've got a fucking ghost following me around.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
So that was a bit like, a bit of a stomach turner. But then they started just going on about all this shit about my mum and how like, you know, she's not had a happy past, and like how she's had it hard.
But she's so proud of you.
So proud of you. So there's
getting
all these like really emotional, like fucking, you know, she was left to do it by herself, and like, but really just portraying my mum in such a fucking, like she's had the hardest upbringing ever, which she hasn't. She obviously she's had hurdles and whatever, as everyone does. But I'm sort of like reliving
that's
this.
the thing. Everyone
does.
them
Yeah,
struggles.
yeah. And there's one thing in particular which I won't go into that has happened to her, and which is very fucking hard for me to even talk about. And they got lucky. They struck lucky, and they
went in on it.
They tapped in, and they just went in on it. And the thing is, this is what fucked me off. This was what made me very angry. I got upset because they were talking in certain ways about my mum, right? And that upset me, and I did start to cry. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm in touch with my emotions. Go fuck yourself, yeah? So
Sounds like
if this is
the anger emoji.
Yeah, if this is bollocks, which I think it is, you've got a reaction out of me. You can stop now. But no, they kept going, and they kept going, and they kept going. And don't get me wrong,
I'm buzzing because look at the
looks
thumbnail.
fucking great on the video, and
Yeah.
the moment and the chapter with the fucking emotional music in the background. We were saying last night when we were like, "Fuck me, this is powerful,"
Yeah.
and it is. But if they are full of shit, and if that is not legit, what they are doing is wrong,
Yeah,
because they
'cause
are
they're
preying
taking-
on people's emotions
Yeah.
to try and fucking,
Yeah.
put their product
And
out there.
the thing is, we will never ever know, because a medium who makes their money through doing that will never come out and go, "Yeah, I was bullshitting you."
Yeah.
The reason that they feel like they cannot be criticised is because they say, "Well, you don't know that I'm doing this," and it's very much that whole religion argument again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't prove to me that I am not speaking to your dead granddad, whoever.
Yeah.
So therefore, you cannot mug me off for my art form.
Yeah.
Well, I don't buy it. And when it was happening, I could see how much Jordan was giving away. And usually, if your mate's upset, you'll console him. I didn't want to console him because I'm filming him like that. Fiona's a bit nervous that I'm putting the camera too far in his face. I'm keeping it there all day
Good
because
shots.
I'm angry. I'm angry because I don't believe this shit, and it's really exploiting the holes in your history.
Absolutely.
So that wasn't fair.
But Robbie also interestingly said, he said, "Look, Jordan, seriously, I could apply pretty much everything that they said to you to me, to himself." So it's like there's just generic shit. But that, like, in that moment, what you see in the video is half just going over some horrendous memories in my own mind, and half just fucking seething that these people are just are throwing this shit out at me.
And you have to watch for Robbie Knox.
He's amazing.
Because
He
some
does
of the
a
stuff
solo
he's done
vigil. He does
is
a solo
brilliant.
vigil where he goes in a room by himself. It's amazing.
It's so good.
He starts. I don't want to spoil it, but
Wait,
he talks about Patrick Swayze for a bit. Like it's just phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.